I normally want to do a video for a guest character. I'm not doing this because I'm impressed. I'm doing it because there's things to rant about, and that's funny, right? I think people like it when I do that. Um, so I've been pretty positive with this game, right? I thought Kombat Pack 1 pretty fucking sick. Really good DLC. I don't like Homelander. Like, as a concept for a character to add, especially when Omni-Man's there as well, and when there's better reps from the boys, like Butcher, who would be doing more unique things anyway. Um, but aside from him, every character in that pack is pretty fucking great. In Chaos Reigns, I don't like the story. I don't think anyone likes the story. Um, but the characters are fun. They're all really cool. Even if they're not the most exciting lineup, because you got two characters who were cameos and then Noob's back again. And now you got the guests, which is questionable. This pack has no cameos, which still annoys me. It's been confirmed we'll get more stuff after this pack at least. And I said Boone's lying again, which he does. And we've got to sit through 3 guest characters now with no cameos. Just the new content is just guests, and whatever little bonuses come with the seasonal updates, sure. But the new characters are just guests. So there's a teaser. Shout out to Frost just being there in the background.
Do you like scary movies?
Now, I've got to ask, because I don't know. Is he supposed to be scary? Like, is he supposed to be a legitimate horror character? Because I have not seen any Scream films, nor do I care to see any Scream films. I know he's in, like, I can't remember what they're called, but he's like a joke character in some other movie series. I think that's a comedy, but like, in the Scream series, is he meant to be a serious threat? Are we meant to take this guy seriously? I don't know. Because I don't know. I just know he's a silly character in a silly costume and a silly mask. And the person behind the mask is normally a teenager, right? Like a fairly competent, I suppose, person, who's killing people, stabbing people up, right? For a martial arts, crazy power fighting game, why? And I haven't seen any justification yet, because they refuse to show gameplay, which is worrying. That they haven't just done a full trailer, they've done this little teaser, which they haven't done since the Omni-Man one, and the Omni-Man one was, that's your first DLC. And then after that, they sort of decided, they figured out how they do their DLC presentations, I guess. But the marketing is generally inconsistent regardless. I'm not going to say they're hiding the gameplay. I think they're ashamed of it, but it's like, I've got nothing to be excited about. I've got nothing. We got gear reveal in this teaser, of all things, and it is not exciting gear. This is why I'm making this video, because it is so underwhelming, right? As someone who had, I suppose, reasonable expectations for this character, right? I was sort of on the fence. I was like, depending on how they do this character, he will either be a very fun character where they've done a lot of creative stuff, a lot of original stuff to make him fit in Mortal Kombat, or he's just a reference to these shitty horror. Maybe they're horror, maybe they're comedy movies. I don't know what they are. I don't care, because I'm a Mortal Kombat fan. I want Mortal Kombat content. Mortal Kombat is not a horror franchise either. So, what's he doing here? So that aside, right, the fact that I'm just generally disinterested in him, let's see what we got to look at. Well, we saw some shitty lightning editing, which I assume it's another lightning powers. I guess I don't see how it would be in reference to the movies, but I assume it's some sort of reference because it looks like crappily edited. But I guess that's intentional. I feel like everything about this character is meant to be intentionally cheap. Like the mask, that's goofy, right? And I assume it's intentionally goofy. Again, I might just be completely out of the loop. I might have the completely wrong idea of this character, but I think he's a joke. And just flashing lights, it's hard to even fucking see shit. I think they just showed Fatal Blow and fatalities, not even fully. So there's nothing to react to there, other than the fact they showed different masks. And like, this is an unnecessary amount of fucking flashing. Give us a seizure warning. November 19th. That is when the next season drops. Which, sure, as I of every other character, I thought it would be in time for Halloween. Like, I would have figured his release date would have been, well, today. But no, we're getting a teaser, not a proper trailer. And I've seen the frankly unfair take that, well, it was obviously going to come out when the next season starts. As if Kombat Pack 2 hasn't already completely broke the DLC formula. It's nothing like Kombat Pack 1. There's no cameos. They just dropped the whole MK half in one big update. And now you've got 3 guests coming in a row. And simultaneously, we don't have new seasonal themes. The Scorpion season will return next season. And again, there's no cameos. So, what are they working on this time? Because before Aftermath came out, they already had Ghostface footage. Right, so there's already stuff for him. I can't imagine it took him 2 months to just do Ghostface specifically. I don't know what prevented them from meeting a Halloween deadline, right? Unless they took a break, which, fair enough. The Chaos Reigns update is pretty big. Like, I don't want these guys getting to work to death. But it feels quite feasible to me. Like, if I recall correctly, Quan Chi released like a month after Omni-Man. I wasn't playing at the time, but I remember the Season of Blood, whatever that one's called, that season 2, that was only like 29 days for some reason. And I believe that was before Quan Chi came out. I mean, I suppose Quan Chi was they probably already had stuff ready for Quan Chi because he was definitely meant to be for the base roster. But still, there was also Chameleon, right? And they were still doing new seasonal stuff. So I imagine it would have been possible. But no, it's November 19th, which is dumb. Like, releasing Ghostface right after Halloween, that is stupid. And it's not even right after it. You know, it's like less than a month's gone by. Like, the Halloween thing's already over. It was like the start of November, like the 1st November. Maybe get a pass. Right? But no, it's just out of season, just about. And that makes it look even dumber than if they just saved him till last. Right? I don't know why you'd prioritize him and then not release him in October. Dumb release date. I don't really care though. Right? I can wait because I am not excited for him at all. My problem is, this comes from a 2-month season, right? Assuming they do this, they stick with a 2-month season, which I don't mind. I don't mind for the games. It means you got more time to rank up in Combat League, as opposed to MK11 just does 30-day seasons for that. 60 days is much better, I feel. Also more time, you know, because there's invasion season stuff, and then there's a seasonal tower if you want to fuck around with that, which I don't, but that takes time. It makes sense to give 2 months for players to do whatever they want to do with that season's worth of unlocks. However, I don't see the point of attaching characters to saying, oh, when the seasons are just repeating themes. Mind you, they'll probably still do premium shop skins. And I assume DLC characters will still get seasonal palettes for the seasons they missed. Maybe we'll get some extra seasonal palettes too in general. And hopefully cameos get seasonal palettes, because Frost got one this season, and there's like a Chaos Frost Nevada in files. There's already some new cameo palettes. So hopefully just give a seasonal palette, like 2 palettes per season for all the cameos. I don't think that's too much to ask. Maybe that's what they've been working on. I don't know. But yeah, it's strange. I like the black background here, I guess. I suppose. But yeah, there's something to re-review that. You can't see it clearly. They don't show it long enough. Again, it's a teaser. What it does show is gear. And shout to whoever on Reddit compiled this. Already 8 out of 10 gear pieces, right? Guests don't get much cosmetics anyway. DLC is always 10, at least at release. In the mastering and whatnot. And we've already seen 8 out of 10. These are all shit. I like the Takan one, but the rest are kind of fucking ass, right? Like, let's really look at this. All of these are the same mold. All these are the exact same mask mold. And normally in this game, you'll get gear reskins, right, where it's just a different color or material of the same model of gear. All his gear here is that. All of it. Maybe someone added like the horns on the red one there, but all of these are the same mold. All of them. And I gotta assume this is because some licensing thing, like, oh, you gotta use the mask. You can't divert from the shape or whatever. I don't know. But this is dog shit. Guess we have very bad customization, but the gear's normally stellar. You know, Peacemaker helmets are cool, and then Homeland and Army Man, they change their capes and, you know, their boots or gloves or whatever. They change a lot. This does nothing. This does nothing. There's like, it's 8 reskins really. Some are more advanced than, you know, a normal reskin, I suppose. But I mean, DLC only got 10 gear slots, and they knew that because they don't do repeat gear. They don't do reskin gear. And here we've got it 8 times for one mask. That is terrible. And unless he's got like double the gear options, this is atrocious. This really, I cannot find a justification for it. I assume they had to do it for whatever licensing or contractual obligations and shit they had to follow through on. But this is lazy, right? This is like clearly lazy. And I think these look fine, right? For like Ghostface. But like, it is so lazy. Like, there's one that's just the default but covered in blood. Or one that's like metallic, weird. People call it the chrome one, which I assume it's not meant to be that. If it is, then maybe we'll get a T1000 chrome skin. I don't know. And then you've got whatever that musty one is, the melty one. That's also just another reskin. It looks like dog shit. And then you've got the others here, which have a bit more going on. Like, there's devil horns on the red one. That's all that's changed besides the recolor. The Tarkan one's pretty sick. You know, you've got like the little bone things coming out. You've got the Tarkan mouth. I really like that one. That one's very cool. The Scorpion one's fun. It looks silly. I mean, that's the point, right? Obviously, it clashes with the color scheme as well. Also, if we are just doing reskins, couldn't we have just done that mask but a colour for the ninjas? Because it's not tied to the palette, or else it would be black, right? Like why Scorpion specifically? I don't know. It looks so like a beak. It's reminding me of like Aqua from like the fucking like the rumor character. It's reminding me of that. So I think that one's fun. It's kind of dumb, and especially dumb when you consider there's no MK2 mask gear for the ninjas. It, and I assume this is just like a reshaped cameo mask anyway, because that's the same like variant of it. That looks like the same thing. So I think that's a pretty lazy gear piece anyway. Terminator one, clearly a lot went into that, but it's still like the same mold again, and that looks stupid. I'm sorry, that looks ridiculous. But I guess I can give that one a pass in terms of actual effort going into it. But I don't like the look of that one. This is just lame. It's just lame, man. Again, I won't play this dude much anyway, but I see myself using the Tarkatan one, and I guess the Red Devil one, which apparently is from Dead by Daylight, that's a fucking insane, that's a crossover. Oh, God. Yeah, that about covers it, right? And we are waiting for November 19th for this. I think there's two more. I gotta assume, like the Was Up meme, that, where he does that funny face. That's gotta be a gear piece, right? Like, if it's not, then what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? And I know he has different masks. I swear he must have different masks. There must be more to work with than this. And the fact that they didn't get creative with the masks, what does that say about like the character in terms of originality for the moveset and stuff? I don't have much hope. Because as far as I can tell, this is just like, it's going to be a character from the Scream movies. So some teenager who can just stab people. It won't be like some integrated Mortal Kombat character like Johnny's Crazy Ex he mentions in intros, or Jimmy Cage, or just some other like powered up like a Lin Kuei ninja who's ran off whatever. It's not just gonna be silly lore, whatever it is, because it's fucking Ghostface. But it could have something original, and that would have integrated it into MK better than other guests, and then you could have done original stuff that would then resolve the issue of him just being a guy who stabs things. But no, I think it's a guy from the movies. I'm fairly confident now of how safe everything's appearing to be. But again, we have not seen any of his actual gameplay. Still. It is unfortunate. It really is. Especially when, again, that's an issue I have with the guests anyway. They're now taking up more slots than there's room for. So like MK11, 37 characters, 5 guests. MK12 currently is, well, once these guests come out, it'll be 35 characters, 6 are guests. Really, this pack should have been 4 MK characters, 2 guests, and quite frankly, you gotta put Ghostface on the chopping block, right? He wasn't even out for Halloween. It's a pointless addition in my eyes. I don't see the point in it. Even if you're a Ghostface fan, right? If you like Scream or whatever, what is the appeal of him in Mortal Kombat specifically? Because he's not a fighter, right? He's not a martial arts champion. He doesn't have crazy powers. I'm sure he's not starved for content. I know there's a fucking Zionist 7th film or whatever. I've read about that. So yeah, I don't really give a toss. And next season, I plan to start learning Kenshi, because that's the one MK character I'm properly learning at. I mean, there's still something I need to learn that more for, but I haven't given it a proper shot yet. I'd much rather learn Kenshi. I'd much rather spend my time learning a sick-ass character like Kenshi than dude with knife. So I did this with Honan as well. When that season came out, I just played Garrus instead, because I hadn't touched him yet, so Garrus was basically a new character to me, and I'd rather play him than Homelander. And, man, fucking Homelander feels like a great pick next to this asshole. Like, oh my god. I don't see the point. I feel like there's definitely potential in doing creative, unique, silly ideas with this character, but just look at this gear lineup. There's little to no creativity here. It's very safe. The Tarkatan ones, rad, and the rest are just there. It's a shame. It's a shame. We could have had Kintaro by now. just saying. Could have had Kintaro by now. So I have to wait another month for this asshole to drop. I need to probably not play him. And then I might have to wait another 2 months for, I think Conan comes after and T1000's last. I can't really order. But one will come in, again, by this system, seemingly another 2 month wait. And it might be longer for the final one, because when we go into holiday times, Christmas time, last year they took a long break. Deserved, right? But that meant season 3 went on for fucking ages. So it could take even longer to get the last guest character. So I'm expecting at least a 6 month wait, like including the 2 months, well, coming on a second month now. So we've been waiting for Ghostface. That is a 6 month wait, and in that time, we've just gotten guests. And more guests than MK11 with a smaller roster. We know there's a Kombat 3. I need that Kombat pack to just be MK. Like, I'm assuming it's a free pack. That's got to be free MK characters. And the cameos, I don't want to see a guest cameo. That is pointless. That'd be a waste. I don't want to see him doing fucking Chucky or fucking Invincible. No point, right? The cameo roster is for your legacy characters. Or whatever silly. It's just got to be MK related. Right? The cameos are very much a celebration of just classic MK. Right? Every cameo is a callback to something. You're throwing fucking Chucky, and you've tainted that. So I really just hope Kombat 3 delivers, and it feels satisfying, and it has the MK representation that will make the roster feel complete, because it doesn't yet. And it's a great roster, and it clears all the previous NRS MK rosters already, but it doesn't feel whole until we get, at least like 32 MK fires that are fully playable, and hopefully 25 cameos. Right, like I'm hoping for at least 5 cameos, and hopefully they're all MK ones, because Kombat 2 gave us fucking nothing. I think that's the least the next DLC could do. Give us the amount Kombat 1 was offering. I was like, in Kombat 1, and again, I loved the characters in that, except Homelander. I mean, I haven't played Omni-Man, but I don't really have an issue with him as a guest. I normally ended up preferring the cameos. I normally got more out of the cameos. So when there's not any cameos in this pack, that hurts things even more. And I expected this. I bought this pack just to play Sector, Cyrax, and Noob when they came out. I was like, that's going to be a very cool day, and it was. Getting to have 3 new MK characters in one update, that's cool. And everything else, these 3 guest characters, they're unnecessary bonuses. And the 2 month wait for each of them, and that is a fine length. It's just compared to the pace we were going before. It feels like it's taking too long. But there's no cameos in between, and there's no new seasonal themes anyway. And we're told we're getting more DLC and characters, and the game's not gonna die, guys. Meanwhile, this is just, things are slowing to a crawl right now, and I am worried. So I just hope they do something creative with this guy's moveset. I hope he's at least fun to play as. And I hope he's not annoying to fight against. I don't want a fucking Robocop situation. I think that covers it. That's my rant. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not a fan of Ghostface. I know I'm not the only one. The November release makes no sense. This gear is fundamentally, pretty objectively lazy. And yeah, I just hope Kombat 3 makes up for this annoying lineup. So thanks for watching. A good old MK12 rant. Not so common these days. I generally like the game, and I'm not a guest fan, right? But I can normally at least understand. I can understand the choices, but this, it feels unnecessary, and the quality just isn't there. Like, look at these masks. There's not a level of quality that matches that of the MK DLC. There really isn't. Like, Noob's masks are sick. The Section Size helmets are awesome, and it's just these lazy ass reskinned masks. And of course, the hood stays the same as well, so obviously there's less going into them in the first place, even if they were distinct. This is the least. Like all the guest gear has been fantastic up until this point. And it's a shame, because all guests get are 6 pallets and 10 gear. That's almost 10k DLC gets as well. And that's a shame. That's a real shame. And if the premium shop stops focusing on fucking ninjas and Melina, then maybe we can get some more skin variety. But that doesn't seem to be happening. So, but that's a wait and see. I won't do a video when his actual trailer drops. Because the only additional opinion I can say by then is, oh, his gameplay actually looks cool, or oh, this is so whatever. It's going to be one of the two, I imagine. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. See ya.